Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Arlene, and on this channel, we talk about a lot of things now. But today we're going to talk about fragrances. And today's video is going to be my top, I was going to do top 10, but it was very hard for me to narrow it down. My top 12 favorite designer perfumes. This was extremely hard to narrow down because I have more than 12 and there's so many that I think are so beautiful that I love, but I had to like pick a certain number, right? Otherwise we would be like a top 30, you know? So you may be even surprised that, you know, some that you might have thought based on my previous videos would be in this video are actually not, because I love them, but it's just, maybe I loved them so much when I first discovered them because they were new and I still love them, but these are just like, these are amazing to me. And some of these have been in my life for a very long time. Some of them are new, a lot of them are new, as I've been new to my perfume journey, just under a year pretty much. And at the very end, I do want to go over 5 extra bonus perfumes. And the reason why I'm calling them bonus is because even though they are designer, you can probably find a relatively good dupe for them. The ones I'm gonna go over of the top 12 that I know of, there are no dupes out on the market for them. And this is why I narrowed it down specifically to those, because some of my other favorite designer perfumes that you may expect to see here and might not, it's because they have really good Middle Eastern and or other brand, you know, less expensive dupes. So there's gonna be some bonus ones, but let's just get right into them. We are going to be using our toilet paper for today to be sniffing these perfumes. And if anyone's curious or interested about the lip color that I'm wearing, I've talked about it before, but I'll link it below. This is Black Honey by Clinique. It's been around since like the 70s. It's a classic. Can't go wrong with this shade. It looks different on everyone. It looks how it looks based on your skin chemistry. And I really like this. Super easy to put on. I don't even have on any lip liner or anything. So let's get right into the video. The very first perfume that I'm gonna go over is the oldest perfume that I've ever had in my collection, right? Maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. I have another one that's older, but I don't consider it a favorite. Not that this exact bottle or even that exact bottle is super old. I already went through the first bottles that I had and threw them away. They're new bottles now, but the scent itself, the perfume itself has been in my life for 20 years, possibly well over 20 years. This is Lolita Lempicka. And this is just the regular Lolita Lempicka. The original bottle looked a little bit different. This is more geometric. It has a cap that comes off with a regular sprayer. The original bottle was very artistic and beautiful. It looked like an apple, just like this, same kind of color. It had like gold, beautiful, like vines and leaves, and it looked hand painted, and then the nozzle looked like a little apple stem, and you would press on the apple stem, and that was the perfume. I think this has been reformulated a few times, but I don't feel like it smells that different. What I do notice is different about the reformulation is that this doesn't last as long as the original formula. When I used to wear the original perfume, I used to just put a spritz in the back, a spritz in the back, one on my wrists, rub them together. Now we know, don't rub your perfume together, but that back then, that's what we did. And that was it. And I would be radiating my scent. I could smell my own scent sitting in the car or wherever we were going. Nowadays, I wore this recently to work and I had to spray everywhere. And I feel like by halfway through the day, I was like, okay, I don't really smell it that much anymore. So maybe let me reapply. It's either me going nose blind, A, possible because B, maybe overspray. Sometimes overspraying will make you go nose blind because you fatigue your nose. Or perimenopause, maybe my actual sense of smell is getting weaker, or reformulations with new ingredients that are not really as long lasting as they used to be. I think it might be a combination of all those things. But with that said, let's get into the scent. Again, I am not gonna be reading notes. I'm just gonna post the notes up on the screen for you guys to look at while I discuss the scent. Now this is a very magical, ethereal, feminine, ultra feminine. Oops, did I spray in the nozzle? Super feminine. This is like nothing else that I've ever smelled before. And nothing else will ever smell like this. This is so unique to me. It's very fruity and sweet Doesn't smell like your typical everyday gourmand, yet even though this has been around for so long, this doesn't smell dated at all. This does not smell mature at all. This is very, very young, fresh girl, but a young woman can wear this. But this is so sweet and pretty. I really think any woman of any age can pull this off. You can wear this as this is a perfect signature perfume. This has been my signature perfume for well over 20 years. So it does have a little bit of a beautiful sort of vintage vibe. I believe there's a licorice or an anise note, but it's not so overwhelming in here that it would be like repulsive, because I smelled anise and licorice notes in other perfumes where it's really, really obvious. The note sticks out like a sore thumb. In this, it's so beautifully well blended with all the fruits. There's a little bit of a cherry vibe, but again, it's not like these like cherries nowadays that it's like, oh, there's cherry, pow, right in your face. Like you can't miss the damn cherry. It's just so beautifully blended with like gentle florals, that licorice, sweetness from the fruits, and maybe there's a musk or a sandalwood in the base. I'm not entirely certain, because this is very linear. When I wear this and I spray it, I feel like it smells the same from beginning to end. From the moment I spray it until it's barely on my skin and I can barely pick it up, it still smells the same. So it's hard to tell what like top, middle, and base notes are. And I love that about this perfume. It's so simple. I love the fact that it is linear and it is so beautiful as it is. You don't need it to change. You don't need it to start with like a bright citrus opening and then kind of like warms up to a beautiful creamy fruity floral and then dries down with a woody nice base. Like that's a typical evolution of perfumes. This is just the same smell from beginning to end, and I love it. And as you're smelling it, you just kind of get different things out of it. You just, every once in a while, you're like, I got that licorice. I got some floral. I have some fruit there. It's just so beautiful. Maybe there's a violet in here. Maybe there's apricot or some kind of, maybe there's a cherry. I'm not entirely sure here. There's gotta be orange in there, maybe some rose. So I'm just gonna post the notes, and it's just so hard for me to pick out notes because this is so well blended and linear that it is hard for me to tell you, oh, I smell this and I smell that. I know, because I've known this scent for so many years, that it does have that beautiful anise licorice vibe that I love. But it's just so beautifully done here. This is such an easy, dare I say, if you don't like licorice or anise or anything like that, I believe this is a safe blind buy. I believe this is a universally lovable perfume. I don't see how anyone can not like this perfume. It's so simple, so easy, so gorgeous. And I don't know if this is going to be discontinued. I heard someone mention, one of my subscribers mentioned in a comment that they think it's going to be discontinued. If that's the case, I need to load up. So if anyone knows, please let me know in the comments, like for sure, if that's going to happen, because I don't want to, I would be sad the day that I can no longer find this unless it's on the gray market for like $400 and it's out of my life forever, because it's been in my life for so long. The next perfume that I want to go over with you guys is a relatively new to my nose. It is a discontinued perfume, but it smells so beautiful. I had to include it in this video. This is Miss Dior Eau de Parfum, the 2021 version. As you can see, it's the metallic silver plastic bow. The cap is plastic, but the new one has like a fabric type of bow with like little glitter and different pastel colors. I had gone down the rabbit hole researching this scent because I was so curious. Everybody kept saying how great Miss Dior was, and I went to Sephora and I sampled the one that they had there. I'm like, it's all right. Somebody said that the dry down is to die for. I'm like, it's okay. And then I started reading about the different Miss Diors and how often they reformulate this perfume, like year after year after year. It's always different. And I read so many reviews saying that this is the best version. And I do actually have the newer version. It's a little teeny, it's a smaller bottle than this. It's like half of this, very tiny. And this one's better. This one's better. That smells like an idea of what this perfume was supposed to be or used to be, which is what's in this bottle. And I hate to spray this out because it's very discontinued. But this is, if you like classic perfumes like Chanel perfumes, like Coco Mademoiselle, or even like the Lolita that I just showed you, that there's like a vintagey perfuminess, which could be patchouli, could be like a mixture of different citruses. It's in there. But this has also rose done in a way that is not like, again, just like I said about Lolita, there's no boom punch in your face. This is rose. It's like a subtle but super jammy rose. Like a very, very, like if rose was turned into a compote, right? So it's got that sweet, and it's funny because it's not syrupy, like liquid. It's more like paste, like jam. But then you also have this really clean, musky powderiness. So it's like a powdery, jammy rose with a woody, patchouli, sandalwoody kind of base. And this is so freaking beautiful. In fact, I didn't want to spray it, but maybe just a little. I'm not going to put on the paper, guys. I don't want to waste it. Come on. Oh, it's so much perfume. Oh my God, this is so good. I am gonna cherish this tiny bottle. This is used, so I don't know, you know, how much more life it will have before it turns. I hope it doesn't turn for many years because I plan to keep this and cherish this. I don't wear this like just on any given day for work. I have done that before, particularly when I first get a new perfume, when I first got it, to see what it was like. And it is so special that it's just not one to waste, considering that it's hard to find. So if you're out there, Dior, and you're listening and you're hearing this, which I highly doubt, but if you are, bring this back. This is the best. Oh, so womanly, sophisticated, beautiful. I love it. Moving on to the next one, another classic. It's been around for a while, I think, too. This is Mon Guerlain Intense. So I had the regular Mon Guerlain. It was a little tiny 1 ounce bottle. I'm almost done with it. I'm carrying it around in my purse just kind of as a backup of my scent of the day, if I feel like adding to it or I feel like replacing whatever I'm wearing that day with it, because there's very little left. I have a backup bottle of that original Mon Guerlain. It's a bottle of, I think, about this size in the closet, still wrapped in the box, hasn't been opened. So it could always be sold, it could always be gifted, or I can open it and use it. I don't want to open it and use it because I still have this. And the color on the neckband is a little different, and the regular is a little bit lighter. Here it's like a beautiful bronze color, and the juice is much more purpley. And the reason why I prefer to say that this is in my top favorite versus the regular, even though the regular is beautiful, is because this one is just special. If you're not like a deep perfume person and you're more like a light perfume person, there are people who prefer musks and like really citrusy, light floral. They don't like deep, rich. Then I can understand why maybe the regular might be your preference. I'm a person that I can appreciate all perfume. I like light, floral, musky perfumes, especially in the summer and the spring when you want to smell refreshed. So I feel like I go through my phases of what I want. But at the end of the day, if I had to associate my personality with a specific season or a specific perfume type, it would be the darker, richer, patchouli, dirty, jammy, you know, fall, winter scents. I love summer smells too, but just not as much as these beautiful winter scents. These winter scents they do something special to my soul. I'm always sad that I can't wear them during the summer months because it's like you're gonna choke someone out. Like, I'm like, I don't care, choke. I wanna smell this. This smells so freaking good. But you can't do that. It's like a hot beach day. You can't be wearing a jammy, heavy, woody rose. You're gonna wanna wear something more summery, which is great. It's fine. Like I said, I like to enjoy all of them. But this Mon Guerlain is the deeper, darker, richer, more sophisticated version of Mon Guerlain. This also has an anise note, but this is a vanilla. As you can see, the color, the beautiful purple that happens with vanilla scents. It has lavender, but I feel like in this perfume, the other one is more soft vanilla lavender. This has like maybe a little more lavender, or maybe it also has patchouli in addition to the lavender. I also have a backup of this, so, and there's an anise. There's a licorice in here that you can very clearly smell, more than you can smell in Lolita, okay? But it's not repulsive or bad, at least not to me. I get a patchouli, I get a licorice, I get lavender, I get deep, rich, heavy vanilla. And I love the depth of this perfume. The other one is like the sweet, innocent, naive baby sister. And this is like, she's a PhD graduate and she's got her shit together and she knows what she's doing. Like, this is like, what? she's intense. And that's probably why it's called Intense. Anyway, moving on to the next one. This is another one that I've had in my life. Not this bottle particularly, it's a new bottle. For a very long time, well over 20 years. And I had to include her in this video. Because how can I not? I'm sorry. It's a classic. Everyone knows it. It's been played out, as some people will say. This is Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. I got this on Mercari. It is authentic. I studied what the bottles should look like, what the codes should look like, just to make sure that I wasn't going to get scammed. So be very, very careful buying perfumes like these on the secondhand market, on the gray market, if you're not going directly to the source itself. But if you go straight to Chanel, it's going to be expensive. So just be very careful. Do a lot of research. There's this video, this guy that does YouTube videos, I think it's called CIS, C-I-S, if I'm not mistaken, or Spin, Sip, Fakes. Just look up fake whatever perfume, fake Chanel perfume, and his video will pop up, and he will show you from the cap to the tape on the back of the cap, to the logo, if it's higher, if it's centered, to this little arch down here, every little detail, so that you are familiar with, and even in the box as well, with what is real and what is fake. So I believe that this is authentic, and it smells authentic. It smells like the same perfume that I had for many years. Granted, my bottle was old. It was getting to the point where the juice was smelling kind of turned already. I had it for a very long time. I've worn this. This is so nostalgic for me. So like for most of my life, I've had this and this. And this was like my everyday kind of go-to, but I would wear it also to go out, but this was like my fancy perfume. And I had another one that's not in this collection and not in this video for this group of fragrances. And that was Givenchy Hot Couture, which has been reformulated, does smell a little bit different. Also, the more old the bottle was, the one that I used to have, it was like a different, richer consistency than what I have now, which seems a little bit lighter. But those three perfumes were like staples in my collection. Anything else that I had that was maybe from like a little store, like a Hollister, or I had a Guess perfume. Those were like whatever. But those three, this, Lolita, and Givenchy Hot, have been in my life for 20 years. This is a classic. I think if you don't like this, you're probably very young, maybe. Like you feel like you associate this with a parent or an aunt because this has been around for so many years. I think this came out like in, was it 2001, 2004, something to that effect. I graduated high school in 2001, so there you have it. For me, this still smells fresh. It smells modern. It smells new, because this was new when I was like in my 20s, right? And I remember what perfume smelled like in the 90s and in the 80s. My mom had opium, not black opium, like the original opium, which is like animalic and deep and rich. My father had Obsession. Like those perfumes were like nuclear bombs. And then this comes on like, ooh, this is so fresh and new. It's sexy, it's sophisticated, it's woody. I believe there's orange. I believe there's bergamot in the opening. I know there's a woodiness definitely in there. That's Chanel's classically known for its woody perfumes. I believe there's rose, but there's not a rose in here. Again, similar to like what I said about Lolita, that is a very obvious punch in the face rose, because these perfumes are so well blended. Chanel is such a good perfumer, like a good house, a good line. But all their perfumes share this common like DNA thread, right? And I believe it's in their woodiness and their citrus. So orange, rose, bergamot, probably sandalwood, some sort of musk perhaps, maybe jasmine. The mixture is just so beautiful that to me, this is what my brain associates with perfumey. Whenever I say this perfume is like not so gourmand, it's kind of got a perfuminess, this is what I think about. This is what perfumey means to me. It smells like perfume. I can't particularly pick out any specific note. I can't say it's very grapey, or like some people say that perfume has a very grape soda kind of smell, or it's very cherry, or it's like tonka, or my memory of this is like before YouTube videos, before fragrance channels, before any of that, before anybody can break down notes for you and tell you what they are. All you had was your nose. And I would smell this and I'm like, this is what perfume smells like. And it's a classic. It's a classic. How can it not be in my favorites? So then the next one is also relatively new to me, and I have two. I have the original and I have this one. This is Chanel Gabrielle Essence. As you can see, it says down there, Essence. The regulars Also very good. It was hard for me to pick which one I liked more, to be quite honest with you, because this is like the regular, they smell almost like the same perfume, but the regular is a little bit more sharp, not sharp like in a bad way, just a little bit more crisp, clean, aldehydic, like, you know, musky, sort of fresh laundry, sharp, floral citrus. And this one is a little bit more subdued, and it's got like a warmer, maybe it has ylang, like sort of tropical, summery feel to it, if that makes any sense, but it's the same perfume. So for me, this smells very, and I ordered a backup bottle of this full size. I have two, I have this one and the regular that are these little tiny bottles, and I love this one so much that I ordered a full size, and it's in there, in the box, in the cellophane. Hopefully it'll last for a very long time, because I figured I was gonna go through this one faster. So yeah, this has like more of a yellow floral, which I believe is the ylang. And it's funny because I don't like yellow floral perfumes. I feel like yellow florals tend to be kind of, to quote Danielle Renee, which is a famous perfume influencer, Bihakuchi style. It does smell dated and old and grandma, but especially ylang, for me, sometimes ylang can be kind of stinky. I actually smelled like real ylang, like what it smells like in real life, and it stinks a little bit. It's a little pukey smelly. I don't really like it. But in this perfume, again, Chanel nails it every time, hits the nail on the head. The way they blend their perfumes, it's so sophisticated. This smells very much like the original, but it's slightly sweeter, slightly more tropical. I'm not sure if there's coconut. I want to say maybe there's coconut, or there's peach, probably sandalwood, coconut, jasmine, maybe a little touch of rose in there, but there's definitely ylang. There's citrus, but not, it's not a sharp opening like the other one. The other one is good too, but it's just like a crisp, clean, like the other one would be the peak of spring, and this is like the chill of summer, right? This is like hanging out in my sun hat, in my sarong, you know, with my elegant flip-flops on the patio by the pool. And the other one is like, we're having tea and crumpets, you know, in our pretty little, you know, sundresses, like on the balcony, right? One is spring, more fresh and crisp, and this one's a little more chill, relax, put on that suntan lotion, but they're both sophisticated and elegant, but this has just got that summer vibe that I love. And like I said before, I'm not a huge, like, if I have to pick my personality, it's not gonna be a summer perfume, but this one just does something for me. The other one I love. If this never existed, I wouldn't be suffering, because the other one's amazing too, but I just find this one to be a little bit better. More agreeable, more mass appealing, more likable, more of a safe blind buy, because I feel like that softer, more sweet vibe would make a lot more people feel like they like it, versus like the more clean Chanel aldehydic kind of dry opening that the other one has. But they're both fantastic. Moving on to the next one. This is also relatively new to my collection. I also made a video about this one maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, because I started with a travel size, and I felt so in love with the travel size that I had to get myself a full bottle. This is Jimmy Choo, I Want You. This is a small 2-ounce bottle. The nozzle is right there. It's weird, looks like a camera, like, hi. You know, it just kind of looks, when I first got it, I went, boop, and I'm like, what the heck? Where's my bottle? Oh, let me not do that. I don't want to break it. Anyway, let's spray it out. This one's fresh. I have to push it in anyway. Oh, I shouldn't have sprayed that much. Oh, yes. Oh, put it way too in my nose. Sorry. Anyway, this is a strong one. I forgot. This is a beast, okay? But it's a summer beast. Immediately, when I first spray it, I get peaches and apricots and just like yummy, sweet, fruity kind of syrup, maybe more like a fruit juice, not syrup, fruit juice. I get a tropical vibe, a summery vibe. I'm not sure if there's coconut in here, but there's definitely got to be peach. Maybe there's ylang as well, because I think I get that kind of like sweetness that's in there that is like kind of like, can kind of like bother me, but it's not bothering me here. I get a perfuminess, so maybe there's something woody in the base, maybe there is a sandalwood or a vetiver, maybe, because it feels a little bit drier, you know, not as creamy. It's more of like a juicy, dry kind of orange yellow colored summery scent, if that makes sense. Whereas sandalwood could be more creamy, think like milky, this has got, vetiver to me is a little bit more of a dry woodiness, and sandalwood is more of like a creamy woodiness, if that makes sense. I could be totally wrong and look like an idiot, and there's probably sandalwood right there. But that's just what my nose is picking up, guys. This is another one that I find to be so well blended that beyond the peach that I get initially, and I still get peach, like I don't feel like the peach goes away throughout the wear of this perfume, which I love that because I love peach in perfumes. And it's not sickly done here, but if you overspray and you wear this on a hot day, it could make you nauseous. So if it's a nice cool environment, you're in an air-conditioned office or something, or it's a nice cool day and you use just a few sprays, it can be very, very pretty, very fruity. This is very fruity. This is like kind of a fruit basket, but done so well, because I've had Middle Eastern perfumes, I'm like, ugh, this is a fruit basket, and I don't want it because it's too fruity and there's not much else. This has a perfumey vibe with its fruitiness that makes it smell like I'm wearing perfume. I'm not just wearing fruit juice, if that makes sense. I find it to be sophisticated, elegant. Like if I didn't know better, like if you didn't put Jimmy Choo on this and you just gave me this sample and told me to smell it and said, this is going to be one of Chanel's like newest releases, you've never smelled this perfume before, because Chanel has a ton of perfumes I've never smelled before, I would believe you. I would say, oh, this is a Chanel perfume? Oh, it's surprisingly fruity. It's not the same kind of woodiness, like it's got like a beautiful fruity syrupiness similar to this, but this is different. It's funny because the colors really do give me what the feeling is like of this perfume. This is more of that reddish orange kind of like sort of vibe, and this is more peachy golden yellow, and that's exactly how it smells. I love that perfume. I really do. But it's perfect for summer. We're not in summer right now, so I'm not wearing a lot of those that I just talked about. The ones that I'm going to get into now going forward tend to lean a little bit more winter. So this is an all-time, all favorites designer perfumes video, not a fall. So maybe we can, I did a fall video last week. So I think the next video I want to make is going to be about gourmands maybe, because we're in that time of year, but we'll see, we'll get there. So the next one that I want to talk about is, again, these are all relatively new. I got a very small sample. I love the smell. I'd heard people talking about it. It's nothing really new, but it's new to me. And I loved it so much. I had worn it before that I had to get a full-size bottle. This is Idôle, and this is Idôle Nectar. So it has a beautiful iridescent color to the bottle. It's a very thin bottle. It doesn't say it anywhere, but there's so many Idôles. There is Idôle, the regular one by Lancôme. It says Lancôme right there. There's Idôle Power, there's Idôle Aura, there's Idôle, I don't even know how many. I have never smelled any of those, but I kept hearing about Nectar, and I saw the notes, and I know that this has a popcorn note in it. And to me, I look at the notes and I don't understand, because the notes, from my memory, from looking at the notes, because this specifically stood out to me. I'm like, really? I'm gonna put the notes up. I don't remember exactly what they are, but I know that there's no fruits mentioned here. And I'm like, how is there no fruits? This smells so fruity to me. This is a perfect summer, but a strong banger kind of summer scent, similarly to this one. Yes, there's a popcorn note, and the popcorn note keeps it from getting sickly sweet because it's kind of subdued, because popcorn's more like a warm, roasty kind of smell. This has rose in it, supposedly. All the Idôle is like a rose scent. But I don't get a super blatant, boom, punch you in the face, obvious rose here, which is why I like it, because I mean, it's not why I like it, but I don't dislike it, because I can very easily dislike perfumes that are too strong in rose, which is weird because I do have some rose perfumes that I love, but because they're super unique. They have honey, or they have a lot of woodiness, they have something different in there. But if it's like just rose, it's kind of like I'm not a fan of the Delina scent profile. I have some Delina bottles, and I'm trying to sell my Delilah Maison Alhambra Delina dupe, because I'm never gonna really wear it that much, because I find it's not my favorite. Maybe it's the rose with the rhubarb and the lychee. It's too tart, and the smell of rose with tartness I don't really like. But here it's not tartness, it's rose with sweetness of like some kind of a fruit, even though there's no fruit listed. And then it's got that slight little bit of warm, roasty, toasty, buttery popcorn undertone. So you have rose, you have fruit, and then you have a warm, toasty butteriness, which is, it just, to me, is so well-rounded, right? You have like the floral, and then you have the sparkly fruit, and then you have like that warm, grounding base. And I feel like when you have all three of those things, you have like this beautiful, well-rounded perfume. I just find it to be, again, sophisticated, elegant, womanly, perfumey, perfect for the summer and the spring, and maybe even the fall, because that popcorn note, it's very bright, very fresh. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to a little bit more of wintry fall category. This is one that I just recently talked about, and I feel like when I looked back to edit my video and I watched how I talked about this one, I feel like I underestimated, undervalued, underspoke of how much I love this perfume. Like, I feel like when I look at it, I'm like, I talked about it kind of like it was like, it's all right. I love this perfume. I'm obsessed with it to the point where I just recently, like a couple days ago, ordered myself a backup because I don't want to be without this. I don't know if it's going to get discontinued. I don't know if prices will go up. I don't know what's going to happen, but if this runs out, and it may get down to like halfway through the bottle by the time winter's over, because I love it so much. I've gone through streaks of wanting to wear it every single day. I've had nights where I crave it and I just put it on after my shower. This is Michael Kors Super Gorgeous. Michael Kors Super Gorgeous. And this is opening up a world to me where I've recently ordered, there will be a haul video coming up soon. I've ordered several samples, and I do have some new perfumes that I want to talk about in a future video about first impressions, and then I make another video talking about how they've changed and evolved over time, because this perfume has opened up a new world for me. This has tobacco. And when I made my last video that I talked about this perfume, I'm like, maybe there's a leather. I don't think there's a leather note, but something about it is leathery. That's what it was. It's not suede, it's not leather. This has tobacco. And I was so shocked and surprised when I realized that, because I'm like, I didn't think I would like a tobacco note because I feel like that would smell masculine. I didn't like Shagaf Oud by Swiss Arabian, the gold bottle. I gifted it to a man because it smelled like, it didn't smell bad. I didn't dislike the scent. I wasn't repulsed. I just didn't want to smell like that, because to me it smelled very masculine. It had oud. I'm not sure if it had tobacco, but it reminded me of a cigar. Okay, like I'm very familiar. I've been around men in my life that have smoked cigars, that had cigar rooms or a cigar box. I know the smell. There's a lot of different cigar smells, but sometimes they're very sweet. They can be coated with vanilla, coated with rum. So it was a sweet perfume. It was fruity, but very woody, almost like tobacco, and I didn't like it. When I smelled this at a mall, I was like, ooh, this smells really good. I didn't know the notes. I didn't look up the notes. I don't remember, if I did ever look up the notes, I don't remember having remembered at that time what the notes were. But I smelled it, and the whole time I'm walking around the mall, I'm wearing Dior here. I was like, oh, well, this is so good, that I just went straight to Mercari and I searched to see if there was a bottle of this for sale, and it was like $33. And I placed an offer, and within like 10 minutes it was accepted, and I was like, yes, because they were selling this at the mall for like $60. And I just ordered a backup from Joma Shop for like 50 something. And I could have ordered something else from Mercari, but everything on Mercari was in the 50 something range. So I think I lucked out with the price of this bottle, because I think it's actually worth, like, some bottles are in the 60 something, 70 something, 80 something. The regular one, there's one called Gorgeous, not Super Gorgeous, that is like, I've never smelled it, but from the reviews that I've read, people are like, this is what I thought that perfume was gonna smell like, right? So I'm not really curious or interested about it, and when you look it up on Mercari, it is a little bit cheaper. This is still kind of, you know, I mean, it's not pricey. I'm gonna tell you that priciness is relative, right? To someone, $60 is a pricey perfume, but then there's also $500 perfumes. So this isn't that bad, and what you're getting here. So in the opening, immediately when I just smell it, I worry, even though I love it so much, about telling you that this would be a safe blind buy or that this is super mass appealing. I don't see what there is not to like about it. But I think I think I could say that it would be very mass appealing, but I would still say to side on, you know, use, how's that expression? Err on the side of caution. I don't remember how to say it. Just be careful because you may not like it, but oh my God. So immediately I get like a mentholy kind of smell, like Vicks Vapor Rub, but it's not like super like mentally that it's like disgusting. It's just like a slight menthol, and there's florals in here. And I want to say it's ylang. I believe there's a coconut note. And then there is like a tobacco, but it's such a light tobacco. This is like baby tobacco. This is like introduce yourself, wet your feet with a tobacco. This is not Shagaf Oud tobacco. This is not, I've never smelled tobacco vanille, but I'm curious because now this has opened up a whole world for me where I want to try and sample perfumes like Guerlain's Tobacco Honey, Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. I've been down the rabbit hole lately in Fragrantica and looking for videos of tobacco scents for women. Like I'm going nuts. So if you know any really delicious tobacco perfumes that are not too like Shagaf Oud, too masculine leaning, just right in that perfect middle. Like I've just recently come to accept the cardamom note. At first I was like, I don't kind of like cardamom, it's kind of masculine, but I've been wearing the crap out of my Kamarakawa and my Liam Gray, and they have cardamom, and I'm obsessed. I'm loving those scents. So the tobacco in this is just this beautiful woody base that is kind of sweet, and then that mentholy vibe. It reminds me of cloves, like clove cigarettes. And they were so sweet and delicious smelling. It doesn't smell like ashy, dirty, regular cigarettes. Doesn't smell like by the fireplace or some kind of like campfire, actual wood on fire kind of smell. It's a sweet tobacco and it's subtle. It's like light. It's not like powdery, heavy sweet. Because I've seen some tobacco perfumes that have a lot of vanilla, which sounds really amazing. But then there's some that have a lot of honey, which sound like they would be very damp and wet and heavy. I want to say it's kind of a dry tobacco, not like a wet tobacco. I recently saw a video by Veronica Says, and she was talking about a tobacco perfumes and talking about how there's like the wet smell and then versus the dry smell. I want to say this is kind of dry, but I want to say maybe there's almond, maybe there's heliotrope, ylang, coconut, and the tobacco that's in there is just, this is so sexy, so sophisticated, so like, oh my God, this is so freaking good. I love this perfume. I love this perfume. I ordered my backup. So that's that. The next one is actually brand new. I was almost not gonna include it in this video because I want to make a haul video, right, of what I just purchased. I got this on Mercari. I didn't pay too much money for it, I don't think. I think it was like, how much did I pay for that? I don't remember, but if it's not astronomical in my head, like I'm not gonna remember because I'm gonna feel like that's pretty fair, like maybe 30-40 bucks, because I have the original of this perfume, and the one that I ordered I'm gonna talk about for this video is the flanker. I'll show you what the original is. This is my Burberry Black. Now this is a small 1 ounce bottle, okay? So I have, since 2022, I bought it on a cruise ship, the original My Burberry. This is a big bottle. You can see the difference here. Okay, this is a full 100 ml bottle, and this is a 1 ounce. I was cautious to not get a full blind bought bottle. This is a blind buy because I didn't know if I was gonna like it. I wish I had this perfume in this size and this perfume in this size. Why? I don't dislike this. But this is like, there's also a blush, which I've never smelled. And this is what I think they're like. I've never smelled it. I think the blush is like the springtime version. This is like spring leaning into summer version. This is the fall winter version. I know it sounds obvious, like apparently like black, blush, and regular. Got it. But they smell like the same perfume. But this one just goes a lot further. This one goes a lot deeper. This one has a jammy, delicious rose and patchouli kind of thing that makes it vampy, rich, fall. This is very peach, fruits, freesia. I think there's quince in there. You know, it's very light and almost along the same lines of this, and this, right? And like the Chanel's kind of very, very fresh, juicy, citrus, bright, clean. And then there's that beautiful, sophisticated base that makes it a beautiful perfume. I smelled this on the boat. I was smelling a bunch of different perfumes that were like there on display, and I'm like, ooh, I like this one. I didn't even see this. Maybe this hadn't even come out yet. But had I known what I know, I would want the big bottle of this. This is so good. When you spray it, immediately you're reminded of the original, but there's something deeper. But then as you're letting the scent, as you're letting like a few seconds go by, you start to smell the rose. You start to smell like a woodiness. You start to smell like a honey. You start to smell like a patchouli. It's just like the deep, rich, dark fall, winter, vampy version, but it's not too much. Like when I talked about my Halloween perfumes with Elie Nuit Noir, which is a bit much. Like I don't know where I would wear that. Or my Chopard Love, which is like very, very, very potent on the rose. It's a bit much, and it's got honey, and it's got cacao, and it's got violet. This is very wearable. Like this is a beautiful, vampy, wintertime type of perfume. Similar to that one, but it's got that deep note, that deep vibe that it kind of like goes straight down into that area, but wearable, sophisticated, more evening. But you know, on a cool winter day, a cold winter day, you can pull this off during the day. But again, I've said it many times and I'll say it forever. I believe you can wear whatever you want, whenever you want. If you're craving this on a Tuesday to go to work, freaking wear it. But just be careful with the sprays. This does smell like it would be nuclear, because even the original is pretty nuclear. Like this is nuclear. So this is just the fall one, the fall version. I don't like that it does, I mean, I love it. I'm not gonna say I don't like. I just wish it came with a cute little bow. I don't know why this one didn't come with a bow. Did the lady take it off? Did it not come with it? It's just a small bottle, so maybe that's why. But I love this so much. I love this. This is good. This is good. I wish I had the big bottle. One day, not now. The next one I talked about in my Halloween video, and I talked about it on many videos because I'm obsessed with this perfume. How can I not include it in this list? Musc Noir Rose. Musc Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez. This is a jammy. I've said this many times. What's my thing with jammy rose lately? Jammy, plummy, beautiful rose with a beautiful musky laundry cleanliness that's in there mixed with it. Oh my God, okay. All right. You have a nice, velvety, comfortable, but not too thick and heavy, kind of like, it's refreshing, but it keeps you warm, like a nice, thick consistency of a blanket, fresh out of the laundry and clean. And then someone just brought you a huge bouquet of like 24 red roses and laid it on your fresh, clean sheet. That's what this smells like to me. It's a fresh, clean bed with a bunch of fresh red roses. It has a little boozy, rummy sort of kind of, but not too much. It's not a camera or anything like that. It's not masculine at all. It has like a boozy sort of plum. So maybe you're also eating plum in your fresh, clean bed with a bunch of roses around you. How does that not like the epitome of like being spoiled and pampered and just being like the shit woman ever to exist, right? This is spa. This is pampered trophy wife taken care of. It smells so freaking sophisticated and beautiful. I don't see how any woman cannot have this in her collection. Like this is just, I love this. Anyway, the next one, talked about it as well recently. This is YSL Libre Le Parfum. I forgot to mention in the last video when I talked about this that I think it showed on the notes when I put it up, but I forgot to mention. What makes this different and sets it aside from the other Libre, there's regular Libre, there's Libre Intense, and then there's Libre Le Parfum. And I know there's a new one now. There's like a vanilla one that's out. I'm not even very interested. I'll probably go to Sephora just to sample it, but no. It's probably going to be another, let's jump on the gourmand bandwagon. Let's jump on the vanilla trend bandwagon. I heard that it's a little light, a little bit disappointing, but whatever. This is the deepest, richest, just darkest version because this has honey and ginger. It's spicy but sweet. It's got that powderiness because of that musk and that lavender that's still in there, and it does have the vanilla. So like, I don't have Libre Intense. I have Tharwa Gold by Lattafa, which is a great Libre Intense dupe. Some people will tell you that it doesn't smell exactly the same. I don't have Libre Intense. I've smelled it maybe like at the store. But obviously when you smell something at the store once over a month ago, you're not going to remember. But Tharwa Gold to me is so sophisticated and beautiful. It is very similar to this, so I believe it's a very good dupe for Libre Intense. But it doesn't have that honey and ginger that this one has. So this one just takes it to like a whole other level of depth because of the honey and ginger that bring an extra warmth to it. And the honey here is not animalic honey. We're going to talk about that in a future video because I have a new perfume that I bought. It is a Middle Eastern and it's very popular right now. So I'm going to talk about it very soon because I want to give you my first impression, but I have to let it sit and macerate. But if you've ever tried Burt's Bees, like the chapsticks or like the face creams, the hand creams, their products have like a very animalic, waxy, kind of weird honey that's so realistic. I tend to not like that. It's not a good sweet honey. It's just kind of like an animalic waxy honey. That perfume kind of has that right now and I don't really love it, but this is not like that. And if it is like that, it's so well blended that you don't get that. You get the Libre vanilla and lavender. You get a little sparkle of ginger, nothing too crazy. There's that spicy sparkle that just kind of like, wake up. But then that kind of settles and then you're left with this warm, rich, almost nutty kind of honey. Not a waxy, animalic. It's like a powdery honey. Like if honey could be powdered, right? This is so freaking beautiful. This is winter, this is fall, this is evening, this is sophisticated, this is gala, this is long black dress with a slit. You know, a red dress like in Pretty Woman with the beautiful freaking diamond necklace. This is amazing. And I'm a firm believer that, you know, don't just save everything for special occasions. I've worn this to work. I wore this once and somebody's like, "Ay, que olor más rico." They were like, "Oh my God, what's that smell? It smells so good." It's me, girl. It's me. Because it's not going to really be a bomb or kill people unless you overspray. These are the kind of perfumes that you don't need to overspray. Just give yourself a normal, you know, somewhere here. I noticed that you want to put it in areas where your body's the warmest. I feel like at your core it's the warmest. So like the underarm area, whether it's over your clothes or under your clothes. Your clothes tends to hold on to scent a lot. I don't usually put perfume a lot on my hair. Somebody asked me to make a short or a video talking about like how do I apply my perfumes. I'll do that, but like I'm learning a lot myself as it is, so we'll get there. But you don't have to spray this like the influencers do. This is not a cheap Middle Eastern. This is not, I mean, there are good Middle Easterns. I'm not saying all Middle Easterns are cheap. I'm saying there are cheap Middle Easterns and then there are good Middle Easterns. This is just strong. Nuclear, but you're not gonna kill people if you just kind of like spray it like normal, if you know what I mean. It's so freaking pretty, so sophisticated. The next one I wanna go over, I also talked about lastly, it's one of my favorites. This is Gucci Guilty Intense. Gucci Guilty Intense. This has a violet note. This has a creamy, beautiful, rich, caramelly vanilla mixed with the violet note, which is why I love it so much, because violet by itself reminds me of Agua de Violeta or Royal Violets, which was a perfume, a cologne, a bath perfume that our parents used to put on us when we were kids. That I kind of don't want to smell like that. But in this way, the way that they do it in these type of perfumes, the ones that I've talked about this on my Halloween video actually. So go back and check out the Halloween video if you haven't checked it out yet. The Bibliothèque from Byredo, Dua has a dupe of it, the Dua brand called the Library, and then there's Maison Alhambra's dupe called Berlinetta. Did violet in the same way that it is done here. It's violet with other notes that are more sweet, not that cold blue, clean, sharp violet. It's that, but then you have like peach or caramel or a warm chocolatey patchouli, or you know, you have all these other warm notes that go together with that fresh blue, bright, clean violet note, and when they come together, it's this beautiful, it's like a sweet and savory dish, right? It's like the yin and the yang. It's like this perfect balance, you know, where it's not too sharp. Violet can be very sharp, but when it's done this way, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. It's just like when you add a little, if you have a charcuterie board and you've got like all the meats and all the cheeses and all the olives and all the crackers, and then you just have that little pile of fig in the corner, and it's sweet and rich. But if you're mixing it with that savoriness of the meats and the cheese and the cracker, you put a little fig on top, or like a date, you got that sweetness with that saltiness, like dates and blue cheese. Oh my God, that's what you get when you get like a blue, clean, sharp, fresh, aldehydic type of perfumey floral like violet, and then you combine it with something like patchouli, like a chocolatey, not an earthy dirty, but like a sweet chocolatey, deep, rich patchouli, or a vanilla, or a caramel, or dates, or cocoa, or coffee, or something to that effect that's like nice and warm and decadent and sweet and delicious in that more yellowy, beigey kind of brown, delicious way. That's what you get. And it's so perfect that this is in my top. Anyway, we are done with the top 12. I'm gonna go over the bonus, because all of these perfumes, and in fact I made a mistake. I said all of these perfumes have dupes. Only one of these doesn't have a dupe, but I don't think it would be very hard to find a dupe, and I'll let you know why. So these are 5 bonus. I love these so much. They didn't make it to the top 12 because they have dupes, and you can find a really good dupe very easily, so there's really no need. All these other ones that I went through, I don't know of any dupes. If you guys know of dupes, please let me know in the comments. But these have dupes. First one I'm gonna go over, simple, Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid. The dupe for this is a Theory, and I know that there's many others now. This smells beautiful. It's a warm, yummy, creamy, vanilla, banana, compote kind of yummy perfume. Yeah. And you can get a Theory. So I've said it before, when this runs out, I'm not buying this again. This was a Mercari pre-loved, you know, score find, like a score. I got it cheap. This is a pretty big bottle. It's a 1 ounce, right? 50 mil, it's a 1.6 50 mil, but the little 1 ounce, 30 mils, brand new, was like almost $100. This was like 120 something, and then the big 3.4 ounce is like 180 something. It's ridiculous. I think I got this like $50 maybe. It was pretty cheap. Maybe less than that. But why would I spend the money for a 1.6 50 mil? And that was because I found it cheap. A lot of the other people that were listing this for sale were asking for more, like $90, when I can get a Theory for like $30 to $40 for a 3.4, and it smells the same. I'm sorry, but it smells the same. At first it didn't smell the same. I do have a video out there saying this is not a dupe because it was very different, but it's because of the typical maceration time thing that, or maturation or oxidation or whatever you want to call it. People call it maceration. That's why I use that word, because people will know what I'm referring to because they've seen other influencers say it, even though it's wrong. It just needed time to sit. Once it sat, it started to smell exactly like this. That weird Akigali wood, sort of Middle Eastern dry down that was kind of like stinky, went away. And it smells like this. You don't need to buy this. Get a Theory. The next one, there's a dupe for by Maison Alhambra. Maison Alhambra dupes everything. I think, yeah, let's go over the one that I know for sure has the dupe. I picked up the wrong bottle because these 2 bottles look the same. This is Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb Tiger Lily. This is a beautiful summer fragrance. This has got coconut. Now, people will say, oh, it smells like Alien Goddess. I prefer Alien Goddess. Great. I have Alien Goddess. I love it. You're right. They do smell similar. I feel like it's a little different, but they do smell very similar. Same kind of scent profile for the summer. Coconutty, beachy, suntan lotiony without being like, ew, suntan lotion. It's like, ooh, suntan lotion, right? There's bergamot, there's coconut, there's ylang, but this one lasts. Alien Goddess doesn't last. I spray it on myself. It smells wonderful for 10 minutes and then it's gone. So that's why I prefer this one, okay? Now there's a bunch of perfumes that smell like this. Okay, I heard there's a Paco Rabanne Fame, supposedly, never smelled it, but they say it smells like this. My Middle Eastern called Aziza by Luniche smells similar to this, but this has something, again, maybe it's the tiger lily that's in the name, that I really, really, really like about it. It has something, I want to say kind of orangey, citrusy, coconut, ylang, and maybe it's tiger lily. I don't know what tiger lily smells like on its own, but I love this perfume. I love it. And I know Maison Alhambra, I forget the name of it, but if you look it up, go to Fragrantica and look up this perfume, and then go down to the reminds me of section, and you'll find it. It's like an orange kind of rectangular sort of bottle, and it's like wrapped in like black. Jamie from Not Another Perfume channel reviewed it. She has it. She says it's identical. So that's why I didn't put it in my top favorite. The next one, I'm sure there are a million dupes, and there's even body sprays from Bath & Body Works that are duping. I don't know if they're exact, but I think you could find this because this has been around for a long time. This is the regular Flower Bomb. The normal one, I love this. It's a fruit patchouli. You got patchouli, you got fruits, you got florals. It's been around since the early 2000s. It's a classic. I didn't own it in the early 2000s, but I wanted to own it so bad. It's got that beautiful kind of like woody, you know, classic perfume smell like this does, like Coco Mademoiselle does, like Chanel. It's got that beautiful woody base that makes it feel like a perfume, like a classy perfume. But there's something so sweet about this. I don't know if it's the patchouli. I think this has bergamot, and I think it has tea. I don't know if it's white tea or black tea or green tea. I think a tea leaf of some kind. There's got to be rose, but I'm not entirely sure. But I think there's vanilla too. It's sweet. So even though it's called Flower Bomb, people might be like, oh, I'm not too crazy about florals. This doesn't smell like a bowl of potpourri. You got vanilla, you got tea, and it's just got this beautiful sweetness. You got that beautiful sweet patchouli. It's not patchouli done in a nasty, stinky, smelly way. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? If you've ever smelled this, some people may not like this. Some people really hate patchouli. I am really learning to love patchouli, but I feel like it could be done in so many different ways. There's patchouli that is really stinky, almost body odor-like, too earthy, and then there's sweet, chocolatey type of patchouli, but this isn't too overwhelmingly sweet to the point where it's like, it's gonna make you gag, kind of like Thierry Mugler's Angel, which is like chocolate, patchouli, vanilla, caramel, all the fruits, cotton candy. It's just so freaking much. And even still, I have my days. I don't have that perfume, but I have an Oak to dupe of it, and I have my days where I crave it. But you have to have your days. Like when you have a craving for something really freaking gross, you don't always want that. But this is simple. I feel like you could pull this off every day, any day. This could be a signature. This is an amazing perfume, and I think you can find a dupe for it. I think Bath & Body Works has a body splash. I don't know if it's Petal Parade or Flower something. I don't remember which one it is. If you know, please tell me. Let me know. And down in the comments, which Bath & Body Works spray, body mist has that perfume smell, because it's just so good. The next one, you can easily find a dupe for, and some people say no, you can't, because those dupes don't even really smell like this. This has something different. Whatever. To me, they smell the same. Burberry Goddess. Burberry Goddess. You have vanilla, you have ginger in the opening, you have a little bit of cacao in there. This is very similar, or I should say the other way around, to Angham. Angham by Lattafa is very similar to this. Some people will say that they're different. I think they're 95% the same, maybe 98% the same. I feel like they're so the same that if this runs out, if I don't sell it because I dropped my cap and now it's broken there, see that little part that's missing? That's really bothering me. Really bothering me. It's like towards the back. See how you see Burberry and then there it is. I even considered selling it, but I'm afraid on Mercari of losing it, because Mercari has lost already a couple of my, in the mail process, they've lost a couple of my bottles, and I'm terrified because I paid good money for this. This is a real authentic bottle, so I'm just gonna use it. But when this runs out, my Angham perfume is halfway, less than half left. When that one runs out, I'm not gonna buy it yet. I'm gonna start using this one. When this runs out, I'll just buy Angham, and I'm not buying this again because I feel like Angham is so similar and this is very expensive. It's not that different. If there is a difference, it's like you're being a perfume snob. It's not that different, guys. Like, it's not really different enough for anyone to really notice. Not even you. Hang on. If anything, Angham smells better. Angham projects more. Angham, this is like, where are we? Where are you? I can hardly smell you. Maybe my nose is a little burnt out because I've been smelling a lot of perfumes tonight, and I gotta be done with this video very soon. We're at an hour. Yeah, I don't smell it that much. Maybe my nose is burnt out, but I feel like Angham is better. Angham is better. So this is beautiful. Just get Angham, and I'm terrified the price of Angham is gonna go up because it's very popular. The last one is the one that I don't know if there's a dupe for. If there is, please tell me. This is new to me. I don't think I've talked about this one yet on this channel because it's new, so I was gonna include it in my haul. Stay tuned for the haul video. This is Valentino, and I think this is called, it's not anywhere on the darn bottle. I think it's called Voce Viva. Hang on a second. Intense. This is the intense one. That's right. Oh my God, these letters are so small. Voce Viva? Not Voce Bella, not Vita Bella. Vita Bella is another one. Valentino, Voce Viva, Voce Vita, Intense. Now I saw someone, a YouTube influencer, saying how beautiful this was, and her bottle was like completely almost empty. She had to get another one that she could wear this every single day. It smells so rich and sophisticated, and I was sold. I was sold. I was influenced. I wore this to work recently, and I feel like it can come off a little sharp. You have to be careful. I made the mistake of overspraying, and the girl that works the front desk, I was coming up the elevator. She goes, "I can smell you coming up the elevator." I was like, "This is nuclear. I overdid it." So something in this reminds me of, I have Valentino Donna Born in Roma, a dupe of it from Okja. I have the Extra Dose. They're very different because that has, you know, a lot of bourbon, vanilla. It's different, more rich, but it's got all that same sort of white floral DNA. Not too different from the Carolina Herrera sort of white floral DNA that's in there and the Black Opium DNA, but I don't think this has coffee or anything like that. I believe this has a lot of citruses. I think it has maybe some bergamot, maybe some orange in there. So it's not that it smells like those perfumes. It's a very predominantly white floral scent. And then it has a fruitiness that, believe it or not, reminds me a little bit of this Jimmy Choo. I Want You. So this is a little bit more of a sophisticated version of this. This is more like peachy, apricot, summertime, you know, fruity. This is a little less fruity and more floral. So these are kind of in the same vein, kind of in the same family, same DNA, but this is a little bit more floral, a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more mass appealing, that if these two were to be like blind tested, smelled by random people on the street, maybe more people would prefer this because it just seems easier. Unless you like very syrupy, sweet, fruity, then maybe this is what they would prefer, but I feel like this would be a safer blind buy. And because of that, I feel like it's a little bit more generic. It's an easy, generic, everyday perfume. It's not light by any means. So when I say easy, it doesn't mean that it's weak. This is nuclear, this is strong, which is why I feel like it's like the perfect kind of well-rounded sort of perfume, like a perfect everyday signature perfume. You've got beautiful, clean, fresh fruits and florals, lots of white florals. It's pretty strong. You don't have to use so much of it. It's sophisticated, it's elegant. This is a beautiful signature worthy type of everyday perfume. And the cap, I love this cap. I love that red. And then you got that beautiful, typical, you know, studded thing that Valentino likes to use. This is really pretty, but I don't know if there's a dupe of it. And I very much like it, so I wanted to include it in this video. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you liked it. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button if you're here. And if you like this video and if you're here often, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next one.